Coming up on Mountain News this morning, several organizations here in Hazard try to keep people away from harm this holiday season. An Eastern Kentucky church prepares to host a holiday giveaway in order to make Christmas for kids in our region a bit more jolly.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris, and it's 5:31 on this chilly Tuesday morning. And let's take a look at that chilly forecast over with Brandon. And Brandon, this morning I can confirm my car was frosty.
Yep.
See, I think it does it every other day.
Yep.
So,
I actually remember to start my car, not as early as I would have liked to, but I started early enough where it started the defrost process. It just hadn't quite got there yet. Our morning producer, Kirsten, actually said, you need to buy some of that stuff you spray on there and it instantly melts. I do need to go get some of that.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's smart.
I do.
But also I want my car warm.
Yeah,
so,
well,
no.
listen, I can deal with a cold car. It's just I can't, the ice is what bothers me. I'm just like, nope.
That's smart, though.
Exactly. All right, let's get into this forecast this morning. And as everybody's mentioned, it is chilly as we start out the door, but not in some areas. 42 in Jackson, 41 in Wise. Of course, that's still cold, but not as cold as 23 in Jonesville or 26 in Middlesboro or even 30 there in London this morning. It's going to be a chilly start to the day. Bowling Green Cents are still out. They're still dealing with the aftermath of the weekend tornadoes, unfortunately for them. And we're going to continue to see, again, many areas out there feeling some cold air this morning. Our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to those folks affected by that. 47 though in Paducah, 26 in Cincinnati, 25 in the Tri-Cities. Your breakfast forecast, get out those bowls this morning. We're looking at your frosted weather weeks forecast. Had a little bit of frost in them this morning as you see temperatures hovering around the 30-degree mark, kind of trying to split the difference there between those 20s and those 40s. 12-hour planner up to 60 today. We're going to try it one more time, see what happens. 7:40 this morning, sunrise, sunset tonight at 5:16. So the day getting a little shorter on the front end, but just a minute longer on the back end. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, foul play is suspected in the death of an elderly Letcher County woman. Troopers discovered the body of 82-year-old Lois Adams at a home on Trent Drive in Whitesburg. Adams was pronounced dead by the Letcher County Coroner's Office, and an autopsy is scheduled. If you have any information, you should call state police here in Hazard. At least 88 people are dead after tornadoes swept through the Midwest last week, 74 of them right here in Kentucky. Though officials are worried the death toll will continue to creep up, many of the thousands who lost their homes are now staying in shelters, trying to figure out what to do next. CBS's Laura Podesta is in Mayfield with more.
Search and rescue crews are working around the clock in Kentucky with dozens of people still missing after last week's deadly tornadoes.
To the people of Western Kentucky, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be with you today. We're going to be with you tomorrow, and we're going to be there with you to rebuild.
More than 1,000 homes across 18 counties were reduced to rubble.
I just hope whoever's missing, they're still holding on.
Samantha Delgado fought her way out of this flattened candle factory where 8 people died.
We just kept on pushing the wall until it was like a little enough space to crawl out of.
Officials say it could take years to fully recover, especially here in Mayfield, one of the hardest hit areas. The state has set up a fund that has already received $6 million in donations.
Helping us a lot with the baby diapers.
Anthony Vasquez is staying at this church after losing his home and his baby's Christmas presents.
I'm sure we can still have a great Christmas, you know what I mean? But I'm just so grateful that I'll be able to have my son for Christmas.
In Dawson Springs, the parents of 2-month-old Oakland Kuhn decided to take her off life support yesterday. The youngest known victim had swelling to her brain after being thrown by the winds into a neighbor's yard.
She was a beautiful little girl, and she would have grown up to be awesome.
And in Illinois, at least 6 people died after part of an Amazon warehouse collapsed. Federal and state officials are investigating to determine if there were any structural issues with the building. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Mayfield, Kentucky.
Well, the tornado outbreak in Western Kentucky brings back some bad memories from almost a decade ago. The March 2nd, 2012 tornadoes hit communities like East Bernstadt, West Liberty, and Salyersville hard. Now, Salyersville Mayor Pete Shepard says they do plan to help Western Kentucky. However, they want to wait until things become more clear.
For us just to hold off for a little while, and then when they find out exactly what they do need and what they're not getting, then we'll make up a truckload or whatever and take to them.
Shepard says he is confident that those in Western Kentucky will pull through. He adds that it won't be easy, but support from the state and country will always help. Kentucky emergency response crews are continuing their efforts in Mayfield and surrounding areas. Now they're taking chainsaws and heavy equipment in and also working to feed people on the ground. And one group is now offering emotional support to those who are devastated. Grayson Passmore gives us a look at how Central Kentucky crews are helping after the storm.
We topped the hill and we saw Mayfield for the first time. It was just an incredible sight, and to see that and the amount of destruction was very disheartening, and you just stood there in awe at the power of that tornado that came through.
Ron Crow says Baptist disaster relief teams from all over the country are in Western Kentucky now. Team members are going in with chainsaws. Others are working on feeding people. As the physical recovery efforts continue, so do the emotional and spiritual ones.
We give them a shoulder to cry on. We love them through the heartache and listen to their stories, and that's what they need, and it helps with their healing.
Emergency disaster services crews from Central Kentucky have started setting up base camps right outside of Mayfield.
Seeing that courthouse being destroyed, that beautiful antique building, people understand this is going to be weeks, months, and even years to clean up and try to restore that small town life there.
Crow says while they try to answer the questions they can.
But you can see people that are just, where do we go from here, and what do we do, and how do we get through this?
He can confidently answer that we'll get through this like we've done all other disasters, together. In Central Kentucky, Grayson Passmore, Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
Well, Crow wants to remind everyone that monetary donations are the best way to help the efforts in Western Kentucky right now. One man who was in the potential path of one of the tornadoes during the weekend says he is thankful to be home safe. Saturday morning, an early morning wake-up call sent Mike Kirtner, his wife, and dozens of other hotel guests in Berea scrambling to shelter in the basement of the hotel they were staying at.
We went down the wrong set of steps and ended up outside, and it was just a ghostly calm. I mean, no movement, no air movement whatsoever. Literally the calm before the storm.
American Red Cross volunteers and leaders say they could really use blood donations, or time, or money. A Shelby Valley sophomore is gaining attention after the Wildcats took on Johnson Central this past weekend. Not for a shot on the court, but for a shot posted on Facebook. When one Johnson Central's players was injured at the end of the game, Collier Foyer wanted to help the only way he knew how, by praying. The sophomore took a knee, joining the huddle to pray for his opponent, which soon became a photo shared hundreds of times. Fuller says the moment was not about the score, but sportsmanship.
At the end of the game, no matter who's winning or losing, all the praise gets to go to God anyways. So, and that's just kind of the way I roll is praising through a win and praising through a loss, and just so good sportsmanship.
Fuller said he does not want the attention placed on him. He was just stepping out in faith to say a prayer for an athlete in need. Winter is almost officially here, and so are the holidays. In this season of giving, Perry Central JROTC is helping keep their community feel loved and stay warm. Our Jade Saylor has more.
The Perry Central High School JROTC is always giving back to their community, and this year they started a new event.
This service project is basically just trying to have a direct impact on our community, the homeless and the poor, more so than anything.
The project has been in the works for a few weeks, allowing several organizations to donate ahead of time.
Everybody here is just loving it. They love that they can help everybody here and love to see the faces that the people get whenever they get all this new stuff. I just love every second of it.
The senior Army instructor says his cadets came up with this project on their own, and he is thrilled with the turnout.
The good thing about this one, I normally have my hands, and Sergeant Wilson and I normally have our hands and everything. We turned this over to the kids, and they ran with it. And so maybe it's good. Maybe I ought to stay out of it more anyways.
They are giving out gloves, blankets, coats, and even food, which all came from donations.
And I tell them that, you know, JROTC isn't about the classroom per se. It isn't even about wearing the uniform once a week. It's about doing this stuff here.
The JROTC is going to continue doing more events like this, including one in the near future for those affected by the tornado in Kentucky. In Perry County, Jade Saylor, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, although this is the first event the JROTC has put on like this, they say it will definitely not be their last. Several organizations in Hazard have come together to offer the people the gift of harm reduction this holiday season. The Perry County Health Department hosted its Red Hat event yesterday, which offered HIV and Hep C testing, Narcan and fentanyl test strips, personal hygiene products, food, and car seat checks to the people of the county.
We all work together. It's just about saving lives. More resources we can put together, contacts, information. I learn something new every day that I'm out here, so.
This event was in partnership with Care to Hope, Mountain Comprehensive Care, the Kentucky River District Health Department, and several others. One Pike County church is preparing for a Christmas giveaway with toys on deck to help families who need a little extra to deck the halls. Upper Room Praise and Worship in the Marrowbone community is hosting its first ever community toy giveaway Saturday. Inviting everyone to take part, toys will be given to families in need, and donations are still being accepted to reach as many families as possible.
Just seeing their face light up, and this may be the only toys that they get Saturday, December the 18th. That may be the only Christmas they have, and we just want to be here for this community to lean on.
Now, the giveaway is Saturday from noon until 3 p.m. Many of the toys were donated to the church from Toys for Tots last year, and others were brought in through members and community partners. Queen City Records, located here in downtown Hazard, held a ribbon cutting ceremony to celebrate its grand opening. Several community leaders came together to celebrate the opening of the record store. Now, this new business sells both new and vintage vinyl records, turntables, and record accessories. Queen City Records owners say they are grateful to have such a positive response from the community.
We're so happy to be here and very happy that everybody's excited to see us here and to help us out in any way that they can, even in here buying records themselves.
Queen City Records is open Monday through Friday from noon until 7 p.m. and on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Well, just ahead this morning, fans of a famous singer will now have to wait until after Christmas to see her in concert. Find out why when we come back.